With a completed review of EX9 vs Monsters, what are some deck profiles that I have been personally testing? Of course, with so many Greymon and Omnimon cards, the first deck that I wanted to set my eyes on is none other than the fan favorite of wargreymon. While I have done previous lists that revolved more around a control aggro build, today's profile is looking for being as aggressive as possible. As always, if you enjoyed these types of videos, do consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell for more future content. One reason why players should be more focused on aggro decks moving forward is because direction-wise, this is where the game leans more towards right now. There isn't time to set up control, and if you do, there's way too much immunity to counteract this. And remember, these deck profiles are not perfect by any means. These are concepts that I've been testing with and are merely starting points for you to take some of the guesswork out. The rest is simply personal player preference and your local meta. EX9 vs Monsters offers primarily 2 new cards for Greymon decks, and surprisingly they're in the same level category. With metalgreymon, this Digimon has the ability to on-play, and when digivolving, place 1 Digimon card from your trash face down as its bottom Digivolution source, and then delete a Digimon with 5000 DP. However, for each face down Digivolution source, you increase this by 2000 DP. Keep in mind that with its other ability, you could trash another Cyborg trait Digimon, aka another metalgreymon, in order to play it for a cost of 5. While not having Rush, it is a defensive option if you need it to be. But the inheritable is what makes this so juicy, considering it's a security attack +1, and because this Digimon can digivolve from a Greymon Digimon for a cost of 3, this means that Greymon X overall makes it 1 cost. The second card of course goes to the metalgreymon Altruist mode. This Digimon can digivolve from metalgreymon for a cost of 1, or a level 4 Greymon Digimon for a cost of 3. Again, because of Greymon X, this Digimon's Digivolution cost could be 1 memory. On play, and when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8000 DP or less. And since this will more than likely delete a level 5 or lower Digimon, this protects you from a lot of blast Digivolutions in a level 6. The kicker with this specific Digimon though, is that when your Digimon with Garurumon in its name is played, or digivolved into, or a tamer with Taikamiya in its name is played, you get to digivolve this Digimon to next level for free. It's no secret that EX1 Greymon is going to see a surge in use because of its ability to play Taikamiya with a play cost of 3 or less. But man, does that mean you can just evo into this specific Digimon or promote this Digimon out, attack, and slap down a Tai to go into level 6 for free? Yes. That's exactly what it means. Largely, your typical lineup for this deck is going to go for at least 1 chip damage, and that's not a problem considering you'll likely run Searcher Agumons to find your pieces. Meanwhile, you can build your perfect stack in the back before the promote out, because going into any Agumon that can filter to the top, and then use Greymon's effect to play the Taikamiya, means more value for you when you evo up to your top level boss monster. In some early test games, you can easily achieve 3 to 4 security rips in one go. Which is why for the remainder of this video, it's a lot of deck profile discussion. For your level 2s, you want to find your pieces as quickly as possible. No doubt about that. BT5 Koromon is the supreme egg for this, because when your Greymon Digimon attacks, you draw a card. As for the BT9 Koromon, you can choose to omit this egg, or keep it. I haven't run through all the eggs yet in my test games, but again, this has been limited testing. For your level 3s, of course every Digimon is going to be an Agumon. EX1 Agumon, for example, is only run at 2 copies, because this provides you the ability to filter through the top 3 cards to find another Agumon named Digimon, or a tamer card regardless of its color and cost. While you might be asking, why not max this Digimon out? Ultimately, if you do super top end with the Agumon Bond of Bravery Ace, I can definitely see this moving up to 4 copies. However, because my super top end is Omnimon X, I'm going more for end the game that turn versus end the game the next turn. The secondary option you might find odd is the BT17 Agumon. While you might think that this Digimon isn't great and BT21's variant is superior, the BT21 variant does have better DP buffs, but can only grab wargreymons. Not to mention the BT17 can promote out and simultaneously grab any level Greymon named Digimon. However, because I am on the trainings, I justify this choice here because if you're using the scrambles, you might consider using that Agumon instead. The last 2 options are of course the standard BT14 for the free evo up into a Greymon named Digimon if you have a Taikamiya in name and play, and of course the on-play searcher for a Greymon or Omnimon named Digimon and a tamer with Taikamiya in its name. These 2 are fairly standard for Greymon decks, and really there are no changes. As for the level 4s, you'll notice I've opted not to run any of the white Greymons from BT17 anymore. While the removal is great, and you can float into another body, or play Tai Kamiya, this build looks at specifically playing Tai on the attack now. And because most of the deck is red, you have much more fluid consistency even with scrambles. The EX1 Greymon definitely becomes a cornerstone pick, along with a BT5 variant that can gain you memory if you have an Agumon in the Digivolution sources. Because you're also not running Agumon X anymore, every level 3 makes its effect live. As for the last two options, I go with one copy of BT12 Greymon, and one Greymon X because it's limited. Greymon X is huge in that because of the newest level 5, every one of them can be digivolved into for a cost of 1 from this Digimon. And while there might be the opinion, you need X antibody for the protection, I largely view Greymon X as a stepping stone into the level 5, and the focus is no longer on just in-case protection. Committing 1 or 2 slots for this protection doesn't seem worthwhile anymore. The last level 4 potential option here is the Security +1 Greymon, but one reason why I haven't committed to it is mainly because DP can be important in certain matchups right now. Briefly, EX1 Greymon has one flaw in it in that it must play a tamer that is specifically Tai Kamiya, which means that if you want to play cards like Tai Kamiya and Kari Kamiya, you can't. Is the Izumi in Tai Kamiya? You can't. It must be just Tai Kamiya. We've already covered all the best elements of the level 5s, but players may opt for different elements as well. For example, players might consider the promo Metal Greymon Altruist mode because this Digimon does treat itself as Metal Greymon and provides a layer of protection, assuming you have 2 of the same leveled sources. You might also consider BT9 Metal Greymon X for the extra security checks, but one reason why I opted not to run this is because of the memory flexibilities that the newest Altruist mode offers by simply playing a tamer. Keep in mind, because the newest Metal Greymon Altruist mode is not treated as Metal Greymon, you can't climb from Metal Greymon to Metal Greymon Altruist mode to Metal Greymon X. Level 6s, I'm on 3 of the promo wargreymons and 3 gaiomon. Alternatively, wargreymon Ace can be a defensive option. In regards to utility, it could be a 2-body remover when digivolved into and attacking with. But the bread and butter of this deck hinges on the promo wargreymon because it can get really big, do another check, and of course delete a Digimon with DP less than or equal to it when digivolved into. However, because the format largely can get around immunity with deletion-based effects, Gaiomon serves as both an offensive and defensive measure because of 2 reasons. Number 1, it also has Security Attack +1, but because you've digivolved into it, you'll get both Blitz and the D-Digivolve effect with a black and red source in it. And because it could Blitz, this means you'll check 2 security easily as well. But the second reason is because you're utilizing the Tai Kamiya from BT12 that gives blocker, Reboot comes in clutch here for the fact that your Digimon could be 14 or 15,000 DP and can block for you. Because of these 2 Digimon, combined with Metal Greymon, these Digimon can theoretically check 3 security. And combined with say a tamer like BT1 Tai Kamiya, this goes up to 4. Did I mention with Omnimon X, you could just attack without suspending at the end of your turn? Largely when playtesting, there are a few ways to consider this. With so many tamers and your opponent burning your life, wargreymon acing or even an Agumon getting bonded on your opponent's turn is a great defensive play. But if you're looking to end the game right then and there, Omnimon X is probably the better choice. However, in looking at a budget for this deck, the Bond of Bravery Ace is definitely the cheaper route. For option cards, the early testing has shown that depending on what your top end is, scrambles are more beneficial for one variant, while the other could use either scrambles or training. Though the one-off option card for my build is a single copy of Hades Force, because tamers are getting stronger. Lastly, tamer-wise, I felt that the utilization of at least 2 BT1 Tai Kamiyas is the right move, to make your aggressive plays that much more aggressive. While you utilize the BT6 Tai Kamiyas for the extra draw and memory when you promote, the best tie in my mind is still BT12 because with its effect you can play it off EX1 Greymon, then Evo into wargreymon, and gain a memory off the play. Likewise, if you don't have this explicit Greymon in the Digivolution sources, playing the tie makes your level 6 Digivolution cost 2 instead of 3. Overall, I'm not going to say Greymon is the best meta deck for the EX9 format. With new tools, you might see some players tinkering with their own version. But again, what are some elements from this deck that you'll be taking, and what are you going to change? Because just as quick as EX9 is here, BT22 is also falling close behind. This DIGI-PANDA, logging out.